You can clear the screen by getting hit. And then you spam Trigger Strike to clean, and everything gonna be automatically refilled in terms of your power charges.
You sensed it, it moves. Meet the dreamer.
And then, no matter what, you can just refill your power charges for free whenever. Don't need to kill or generate combo points. You get your charge stuff up, you walk up to the boss, you press Falling Thunder, and you profit. And the same applies even if you want to flex in front of people. As you can see, this is the hardest difficulty of Zesht in full party, taking him on solo with a single hit. So, as long as you understand the basics of this build, you quickly realize that it works for every ascendancy. I don't know if you realize, because it's not played that much, but I'm currently on a Chayula monk. I swapped from Invoker because I thought to myself that Invoker is just useless. So, all I went for is literally the ascendancy point here. Lich recovers based on chaos damage, and I also have the extra as chaos from Flames of Chayula from the other ascendancy point, and that's all for the Soul Fetter long belt. But as a quick example of using it on other ascendancies, I'm gonna throw this clip in here so you can see the Bleed Mage doing its job. But I played Pathfinder last league, the same build that you see right now, and I think I prefer Pathfinder above all other. The slow immunity is just irreplaceable for me. Now you have also stun immune. Well, if you play Pathfinder and you're bored of the Poison Burst, I highly recommend watching this video that's gonna be now in the top right corner about my flicker on the Pathfinder from the previous league. It can normally apply right now, no problem. And that's all because all that matters are items, and they are the base of the build, and because the quarterstaff is pretty broken, you don't even need the perfect gear for that. And all we need is a solid quarterstaff with flat damages and 5% critical hit chance, a level of all attack skills, that's important, so our charge staff gets levels and our heralds, and by flat, I mean, we can get attack speed or onslaught, it doesn't matter, but by flats, I mean, you can go with the flats. Preferably elemental if it's triple flat, so it's the highest possible, but the best outcome would be flat lightning damage, like this, but instead of the fire cold, you would have physical and a percentage physical, because everything gonna be converted anyway by the abilities, and for those that are not gonna convert, they're gonna increase your leech tremendous amounts, so best is lightning, I mean, the basic stuff, right, like on every weapon. Lightning and physical, and if you cannot get that, all the flats. Maybe elemental damage with attacks, but flats are just solid, like, this is the weapon I one-shotted the boss in full party, solo, so that's all you really need. You will need some spirit for most possible quality of life, but we have a workaround about it, so it's not the most needed thing. And I upgraded since the video, but for example gloves, you just need triple flat as well. Critical damage, attack speed, doesn't really matter. Effect of the socket is nice, because as you see, it can help with the resistance. And level to melee skills wherever you can, like amulet or something. You can get crit damage on amulet, or you can get elemental resistances on amulet like I did, because that's what I could afford, and I don't really want to change it, because I kinda like having the all elemental instead critical damage, because I have enough damage. Empowering remnants is a troll, don't anoint it, I was just testing it, and yeah, I just don't want to swap it right now because lazy. Maybe it's good, maybe it's not. Yeah, I don't know that yet really. And on rings, if you can, it's of course triple flat, and you get preferably resistance to all elements, because it makes it just easy to swap items afterwards. And you get leech as life and as mana somewhere. Like basically, if you could, you would fit both leeches everywhere. So I would sacrifice my attack speed if I could to get mana leech or life leech, even though it doesn't work the best way on Chayula, but for all the ascendancies I'd 100% prefer to have one of the leeches than the attack speed. And that's all. Since I base on the belt, I have just energy shield everywhere I can. And the last important part would be the helmet having maximum power charges. And people saying that in PoE 1 you could spam flicker all the time, and well, you can do the same exact thing in PoE 2, there's not big of a problem with it. You just make your power charges automated. You get 8 of them easily, you can push to the 9th with the boots, but that's on sacrificing the movement speed and resistances, while also gaining tremendous amount of critical damage, because without a doubt, those boots will give you lots of, like they will give you crazy amounts of damage, but at a cost of movement speed and the resistances basically. So you can basically use them, to be fair. They gonna increase your damage by so much, like I can even put into the words, like this one power charge at this point is beyond much. Showcase of my quarterstaff build tuned up to be a good fit for Bleed Blood Mage. And it's of course the Uber version of Arbiter. For the second phase I will try to lower damage so we can see the bleed. Although there is barely any direct bleeding modifiers in the build, not really needed. If quarterstaff's just broken, it fits every class, every ascendancy, or no ascendancy at all. But back to automating those power charges, we simply, for the bosses, before we can hit anything, before we can combo, before we can kill, like you go straight into like Arbiter, there's nothing to generate the combo points for. That's why I have weapon set 2 with a spear, so I have martial weapon and I don't lose wind and stacks basically, and a scepter with minions, so I can sacrifice them. If your spirit's not enough, you disable cast of on critical, which is a second part of how we get the power charges, which is the full automation. And you get your charge stuff by the sacrifice, then you sacrifice again, so your Falling Thunder is prepared. And that's how your Falling Thunder goes to pretty ridiculous numbers of damage. Let me go to the projectile part, which is the huge part. Let me get some extra chaos. And look at this. This is just ridiculous. And well, since you don't have the enough spirit, you will have to disable sacrifice, enable custom critical on the bosses, and custom critical is for maps. You will have the automated generation there. You will not need berserk, because I had stormwave before. I just got new body armor, so I could put berserk on. But basically, without the berserk, you will have stormwave to make everything much easier for the clear. Let me quickly show you, and quickly, more like slowly show you exactly step by step how does it look like when you start them up with the power charges, how does it feel like with their generation. So without any cuts, let me go to the savannah here. How I started, I just swap to the weapon set, I get my charge stuff up. You can press it without all stacks, it will just refresh and add stacks up to your maximum. Now I'm fully prepared to flicker and stuff. I can let them hit me, they will just die. I need to find enough monsters to like even flicker on them, and full stacks every time we flicker. Pretty easy, pretty simple. You can add your power charges by just casting the ritual, and you can spam flicker. 6, not always generating you to up to all of them, but you don't really need to. You can also self-cast the last one. They just literally like swarm you, hit you, you do a lot of physical damage, AoE clear them, and that's gonna also make your leech full your energy shield and stuff. So, how does my life regen look? Look. This is insane. Like, you're not dying with energy shield and this kind of like regen. It's no way. Like, you're immortal like that. It's pretty wild how much you can get off of it. Look, they hit you, and look on the regen. As long as you have wind and stacks prepared, there is no dying, right? There is just no dying. Look on those numbers of the regen. This is not normal. You can also use Falling Thunder to clear them up. It feels quite satisfying to do so, because you know how much damage it's gonna do. So like, you have those hyenas here, boom. Or cleared. It will also give you stacks, but you need like more enemies. So again, up to the boss, and we tap him out. Map done, can go out. And basically, if you had not enough spirit, you would have like no berserk here, because that's just like a small minor addition. And you would have to enable sacrifice for the bosses, disable custom critical, that's the only difference. So then you would kinda not need the skill rings as I have, because you could just replace those things. You don't need berserk, so that's one skill slot ring. And if you would be having to replace custom crit and sacrifice, that's another skill slot. But I went for the skill slot rings only for the quality of life, so I don't have to do it, so I have everything enabled. That's why there is spirit. If I had like flat energy shield, I would be way tankier, it would be way better, but I would have to replace stuff, enable, re-enable, and I don't want to do that. And for all of the skills, it remains same since basically start of this build when I made it in the last league. Falling Thunder, I use this because I have the chaos stuff, you know, so getting so much extra chaos is just beneficial to me. But for example, Blood Mage has some bleed here, either apply it or do bigger magnitude of bleeding, depends if I have incision on the other abilities, because I put the apply incision on everything that can hit, so it doesn't apply the bleed and only the Falling Thunder. Then you can have the bleed magnitude on falling or just flat damage. You can use culmination if you use the passive point, that's like Chakra of Impact, I think it was, yeah, this one. Then you can use the combo points, you can use close combat, you can use, there's so many other options, it's insane. I have Dialas right now, just because I like it, but even gambling just shines here with the quality here, because this ability and its quality is just ridiculous. So I have overextended because of how much crit I'm stuck in for it. You could use theoretically Garukan's favor if you're playing Oracle, so even Oracle can shine here on the build. And then Flicker is just to make it as fast as possible. This is to make it AoE, and this is just because Leech is beautiful right now with this particular support. It's not removed at full life, it's really crucial here. Then we have Tempest Flurry. For me, it's with Withering Touch, but it's only for me because I'm playing the Chayula and I need the Chaos. But everyone else could put more attack speed here, like the Crescendo, or more chance to shock, because that's important to have Overcharge Commiserate and abuse the fuck out of Fourth Strike having 100 magnitude increase. So before you have Disgusting Gear, you use this to debuff the boss, or if you're in full party and the boss is just scaling through the roof, you use this to debuff the shock, for the shock to have insane amounts of shock magnitude on it. Like 80% is pretty easy to reach. Then we have Charge Staff, we have Innervate, Calling Strike and Thrill of the Kill, so we get a lot of free damage. Same goes for the Blazing Critical, that's why you need somewhere like any kind of flat fire damage, it's gonna crit, it's gonna give you that buff, pretty simple and no-brainer to use. And Lightning Mastery, because we want levels, because of how much flat lightning it's gonna add you per power charge. So my end goal is to have Dialas here and Uttered Lineage support, but I think the Uttered as of now is way too much for how much it's gonna give me. Let me just quickly check for you. It's 2 order, so I think it's this one, yeah. Oh my god, when I checked it was 65 or so, what? Okay, and this is why I don't have it yet. Showcase of my quarterstaff build, tuned up to be a good fit for Bleed Blood Mage. And it's of course the Uber version of Arbiter. For the second phase I will try to lower damage so we can see the bleed. Although there is barely any direct bleeding modifiers in the build, not really needed. If quarterstaff's just broken, it fits every class, every ascendancy, or no ascendancy at all. But basically if you have it, Dialas, this support, Lightning Mastery, and if you're gambling you will have like you can just check on PoE 2DB, type Charge Staff and see the scaling that you get per level. I will do it real quick right now and tell you how much UP levels of damage you're gonna get to the flats, so they're gonna be all modified by other modifiers. And if you would have level 40, which is I think it's gonna be requiring gambling to reach it, but on level 40 it gives you 8 to 153 flat lightning to your base per power charge. So 8 times 8 is 64. And then we do 153 times 8, and you can have the other boots, remember, that will also give you the crit damage. That's this is how much this buff gives you to Flood Lightning. This is just insane. Like, let's see the Tempest Flurry. Like, look on the damage here of the lightning, right? And then we get all of this. This is insane. And the more lightning conversion, the better it gets. And mind you, that is a very weak, low-leveled version of it. That's just 2 to 44. That's not that much. That is 16 to 352. Versus this. I mean, the difference is clear, right? And it's it's quadruple the damage basically when you have it on max level. I actually have this here, so I can quickly show you the difference, because I swapped to Falling Thunder because it got cheaper. Now I have charge stuff on level 30. Let me pick this up and unbug it. 3 to 59. So now it should already do nice difference. But as you can see, those things are really bugged, so there's still not that much gain though. That's the problem. Like, you need all the ranks and all the like, you need to commit for it. So Diala's 1 level. If we have only 3 supports and use the other lineage that was for 200 divines, that's 3 levels as well. So you can get extra 4 levels, level 34, and then you would be able to get the gambling levels, yeah? Level 27 for me, remember, had to unbug it. But let's continue with the rest of the skills, because, yeah, charge stuff is just broken. We have self-casted Profane Ritual version here, Gork, Unleash, Charge Profusion, and just anything that has less duration on it, so we get the Ritual Doom faster, charges faster. And that's like the self-cast when you need to like fill the charge, when you need for the boss, when you need on the minions. The automated version is in the custom crit. We also have compressed and swift affliction for the less duration. We also have intense agony. If you don't feel like you're critting enough, you change intense agony with boundless energy, and that's all to make it faster. Whenever you don't flicker, like, you actually need to tune it with the duration up to your current speed of flicker, because you want, once you don't flickering, all of this ritual to be done and all the power charges to fly to you, because during flicker you cannot generate them, but after flicker all the profane ritual is gonna be done and you get all the power charges. On Herald of Thunder we have Wool Nettles and we have Armor Explosion, or you can just use Charm of Wolf. I just recently saved up for it, thank you to temple people, because I don't have my temple abused, but I joined someone that had temple built and I got lot of currency. So basically then you don't really need Wool Nettles, you prefer Wolf overall, and that's how you abuse the Armor Explosion. I also have this lineage here, Reap to Walker of the Wilds, Keystone that they removed sadly, but I want Mana Leech here. I also have Armor Break for the Endurance Charge, and that's because we're using Charge Regulation. That's a lot of free energy shield if we have Endurance Charge, so why not? Winddancer is our defense, that's turned into offense. We just put AoE size on it. We can put Armor Explosion and stuff here because I have the Wolf, but it's not necessary. It will do damage, it was nerfed. Do you see it matters? No, skilling gets cleared by it anyway. And all that matters is to have Leech on it, so it fills your Leech whenever you hit full ES, full life benefits. Berserk, not necessary, but that's like one of the sources of damage. I was also thinking of trying Shaman and Crown of Coral Eyes, I think its name, that gives you spell into attack, the modifiers for spells to work for attacks, and then we go for the Shaman passive for it, and this, but I'm not sure if it works because I didn't get to try, but if it works, it's one of the most busted ascendancies for this, and that's basically all that it is to the skills. You have this completely free, and you can say this is completely free because you can just replace it. It's up to quality of life if you want it or not, because even if you self-cast it on the map to fill the charges, you still have corpses. This is purely for bosses, like whenever there's something like Arbiter and you cannot hit anything before, if you cannot get combo points. So you're just prepared, then you just worry about getting shock from the 4th strike of Tempest Fury, Falling Thunder, or if geared enough, just to Falling Thunder. This is, in my opinion, the best version of it possible because it's fully automated. There is no need to click for your charges on a map. There is need, of course, on a boss, but you know, nothing will be raining down from the sky for you. So you at least have to do that. For the passives, there is some differences depending on the starting point. But in general, you wanna get here. That's why Shaman could be a bit problematic, but I'm not sure if it would be. The best are, of course, Monk, Sorcerer, starting point, Witch, and for the Pathfinder as well, very good starting point, close to the movement speed nodes, which I wish I could grab here, but I can't really. Merc is kinda doable, I'd say. Probably the worst is for Warrior. Yeah, probably the worst is for Warrior, so you just wanna grab crit damage, crit chance, because this is just generic. It's gonna work for all kinds of damage. As you can see, crit here, crit, 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 crit all over the place, crit. Here I have slow. I think that outside of Pathfinder I'm dying to slow, so hence I have the slowing potency here, slowing here, and slowing as well here from the Resolute technique. For the jewels, I have Megalomaniac straight out of the hell. It's just so broken. Last for power, which is required, anoint normally, but I have it here, and I have. I mean, I only paid 15 divines. I swear I'd pay like 500 even for this one. It's crazy good. It has both passives I really wanted, so that's a lucky part for me. Heart of the Well, I have as extra chaos cost Chayula, but you prefer with as extra lightning and actually lightning lucky, so you could go for this and for this, but that's, you know, gonna be really expensive. Crit here, basically crit wherever you can, because it's a generic damage increase, so it will fit everything. But if you're, for example, playing purely on lightning damage of it, like you have the stuff with physical and the lightning, you can go here then. It all has to be adjusted up to your current items. That is just the best way of getting damage. This is just the most generic that everyone can copy by getting the crit. But crit requires you not to use the garbage base quarterstaff that people use with 0 crit. Whenever I see build with this quarterstaff, with the 0 crit base, I instantly gonna tell you that this build sucks and I won't even watch it. Why? Because it does. Crit is broken. It's very simple. Like, you see no crit build like this on a quarterstaff, you can already be sure that you're gonna be struggle on the bosses. And in terms of the rest of the jewels, I have Falling Thunder skills here, this broken Megalomaniac, Heart of the Well, slowing potency of debuffs, because I want really to have 100 on it. That's literally the only reason I was 8 short. Here we have, you can use Time Lost with Spirit, you can use Time Lost with double as extra, or you can use something like this. Every of these options really good. I wish I could have. I will probably anoint this back to the amulet. Probably. I'm not sure yet what to do with it, to be honest. But I will probably want to like have one of those passives here, especially if I had Time Lost against darkness, I mean. And well, this is Controlled Metamorphosis. This is probably, I mean, I do believe this is the only real use of this jewel. You can pass on it, but you can quickly grab Harmonic here. You can grab Event Horizon Spaghettification, so you can grab this. Projectile is the second part of Thunder, so you will do some, have like some benefit is gonna be there outside of the movement speed. You can grab Energy Shield bonuses here, or you can do them here with movement speed. It's all up to like per reference, because this is obviously more ES, this is more movement speed. That's all there is to it, so it's up to what you prefer. And pretty much that is all. That is pretty simple, and that is pretty straightforward. You can copy it to every ascendancy and it will work, as long as you can quickly grab the points that you see here. But that is all that it is to it. I will leave POV link down below and the link to POE Vault with my written version of this. So you have all the supports and everything there. I will also give POE to Ninja, so you can, if you play Chayula, you can constantly check my character for updates. So I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like, comment, share and subscribe. And as always, see you on the next one.